Okay, good morning everyone. This is again Ma'am Glads, okay, welcoming you to our online discussion. So our discussion for this morning is all about the language of research. Okay, and this is the learning objectives. Okay, we have observe the language of research, campaigns, and advocacy. So that is the learning competencies of our discussion for this morning. Okay, so let's have first our preliminary activity. Okay, answer the following. Okay, bounds. Okay, are you familiar with the word bounds? Okay, what do you think it is or what is it? So when we say bounds, can you give some words which can you associate with the word bounds? Okay, so we have here compelled, obligated, committed, required, made, and it's also a past and past participle of the word bind. Okay, so make bind or binding, bind, or we have a lot of binding moments, or we bound with our families during pandemic. Okay, so how about this word, indulge? Okay, indulge. Okay, do you know what it is? Okay, so when we say endowed, we have gifted, talented, supplied, invested, enriched. Or we can use it also in the sentence like this. She is endowed with great musical ability. So when we say that she is endowed with great musical ability, so meaning she is gifted, or she is talented, or she is enriched with this great musical ability. Okay, so the question there is how this word endow and bounds, okay, are related to research. Okay, maybe you are asking, no, because when we are talking about research, we could not deny the fact that we should always mention the word bounds and endows. Okay, so how they are related to research. Okay, so let us first define what is research in order for us to know the answer of our question. Research is existing within the bound of science that is quite different from other subjects. So from that, we mentioned already the word bound. Okay, so research is bound of science. So it means compelled in science. That makes it different from other subjects. And then why? There is a big questions. Why? Okay, because of the terms of because research is special or abstract terms, and then research is likewise filled with extraordinary terms. Okay, because it has a language of its own. Yan, we said that it has a language of its own. Research is its own organized systems of language structures that used to communicate with your fellow researcher and with readers eager to know the finding of your research. Okay, and then it is endowed with special knowledge, meaning and ideas applicable to a particular purpose. So it is endowed, research is endowed, okay, or gifted with special knowledge, meaning and ideas applicable to a particular purpose. Okay, so from how they define research, it means that it has its own language. They use its own language. That's why that is the focus of our discussion this morning. The language of research. What are those words or terminologies that we use in research? Okay, we are not going to discuss further about research because research is a subject for the senior high school student. But this time, we are just giving an informations or an introductions or a familiarizations of word and terminologies that use in research. Okay. So, your expertise of or special knowledge in research causes you to use your words, okay, and then phrases, and then other language structures. Okay, so when we are going to discuss about research and when we are having a research, we have to use our own words, phrases, and other language structure, or they have their own words, phrases, language structure, which is appropriate or which is suited to the to the research or to the research study that you are doing. Okay. So let's have first know the essential keys. Okay, the research language essential keys. Okay, the language of research is characterized as formal. Okay, so we cannot use any words that we want to use in research. Okay, because we should we should always remember that when we are having a research, it is a formal. A research one is a for research language is formal. Okay, clear. Okay, so we need to use a clear. Okay, clear ideas, clear words, okay, clear information in a research, no? Okay, next is concise. So, we don't need to have a wordy or lengthy study, but then we should have only, even it is short one, but then it's straight to the point. Okay, and then convincing. Of course, our okay, research, language of research is convincing. Okay, so you should convince, you are not just only presenting it, no, but then you are convincing others to believe in what you are saying, or what you are having, or what you have in your study. And then professional manner, has a professional manners. Okay, so in the language of research, we always remember to be professional. Even we are just, even students are only a graders students, high schoolers, no? But then when they are using the language of research, and even they are doing a research, they should be professional. Okay, like for example, because we need to gather ideas there, gather data, we need to make an interview with the respondents. Okay, we need to elicit information from other people. So from that, we need to consider the privacy of them, and in that way, no, we should show our professionalism. Okay. Next, research language formation. Okay, in the research language formation, we have the factors. Okay, so this will give you ideas, class, of what are those terminologies that we usually use, or that will usually encounter when we are having a research. Okay, first one factors is the multi-syllable words. Okay, in the multi-syllable words, some terms reflecting the inherent characteristics of research as a scientific method are made up of number of syllables. Okay, made up of number of syllables. Like for this example, so instead of the concept, no, we use the multi-syllable words theoretical. Okay, for sure, if you are having a research subject now, for sure you can relate with this. Okay, so once we are talking concept, we can use the multi-syllable words theoretical. And then for the observed, okay, it is empirical. Okay, uncertain, probabilistic. Okay? So probabilistic, and then for numerical, for those numerical, number, figures, okay, we say it quantitative. Okay, quantitative. So be familiar with these languages, with their terminologies that we use in research. And then for opinionated, like for example, views, opinions, uh, we call it qualitative. Okay? And then systematic, scientific. Okay? For the word systematic, we use scientific. And for investigation, we use the inquiry. Okay. So these are the multi-syllable words that we usually use in research, and that is also in the research language. No? Specifically in the formations of the research language. Okay, second factors is the types. Okay, the types and forms of questions. Okay, the types of forms of question, it has to ask questions that describe, show, show relationships, and give reasons behind the occurrence of something. Okay, and then what are these types and forms of questions? First we have, okay, first we have the qualitative. Okay, first we have the qualitative research. Okay, this is the questions to be asked. The question to be asked in the qualitative research must be elicit views, emotions, or opinions of people. Okay, so that's it. Qualitative. Okay, if that questions is a qualitative research, no, if it is a qualitative research, question to be asked must elicit again abuse, emotions, or opinions of people. And then the second one is quantitative research. For the quantitative research, okay, questions must be asked about exact number, percentage, or frequency of things. Okay, so can you now determine the difference of the two? Okay, for qualitative, again, for views, opinions, and emotions. While in the quantitative, all about numbers, figures, percentage, and frequency of things. Okay, but then it said that in both qualitative and then the quantitative research, informative questions. Okay, take note of that. Informative questions rather than yes or no questions are the appropriate questions to ask in research. Okay, so remember that, Plaza. Then next is Okay, next is the span of time covered by the research. So this is the third factor, span of time covered by the research. So in the span of time covered by the research, it is owing, okay, to the length of time, okay, it could be months or years that takes place in a study. Okay, the research introduced terms in a cross-sectional study. When it is a cross-sectional study, involves one-time collections of data in a span of time. So you just only collect a data just for one time only, one-time collection of data. Unlike for the longitudinal study, okay, it is repeated collection of data for the purpose of finding out changes of patterns over time. So you will not limit only your collection of data for once, but then it could be a repeated collections. Okay? You can repeat collecting data in order for you to find out changes if there is changes. Okay? Okay. So that is the span of time covered by the research. Okay, and then next one is what we call the variables. Okay, variable relationship. So for sure, when you are having this subject research, you will always hear these words or this language. No, we have the independent variables. Okay, the cause of something. Okay, by the way, when we say variable relationship, it is whether or not a variable has effect on another variable and based on cause and effect relationship and on a certain pattern that may result in positive or negative relationships. Okay, like for this example, okay, the four variable relationship, first one is the independent variables that cause of something. Okay, and then we have the next one is the dependent variables. Okay, it bears the effects of the independent variables. So these are the informations which is dependent or which is given in the study or in the research that is used in the research which is dependent to the respondents of the study. Okay, and then extraneous. Next one is the extraneous variables. And what are these extraneous variables? Okay, these are extra or unexpected variables cropping up outside the research design. Okay, so these are the unexpected variable. Okay, and then next one is the confounding variable. Okay, confounding variable is unstable variable. Okay, so you will have this further discussions about this variables relationship. Okay, like what I said, when you are already in that, when you are already in the discussions of the research subject. Okay, so this, what I'm doing now is just giving you a hint or an introductions or a familiarizations of what are those words or terminologies or languages that use in research. Okay, that's clear. Okay, next let's proceed to the Next, okay. For number 5, we have the formulation of hypothesis. Okay, in the formulation of hypothesis, it indicates the staging of a research. Okay, it signals the occurrence of a scientific or investigative way of doing things. Okay, in the formulation of our hypothesis, we have two. First one is the null hypothesis, which is said that it gives a negative result, while the alternative hypothesis, it said that we have a positive result. Okay? And then next one is the data. Number 6 is the data. So for sure, we all know already that when we say data, it's all about the facts, informations, or logical derived forms of knowledge that are called, okay, in the research, that are called as, first one, qualitative data. So when we say a qualitative data or qualitative facts or information, it is verbally and subjectively expressed. Okay? And then when it is said quantitative data, it is numerically or objectively expressed. Okay, so that is for the data. And then next one, number 7, is the unity analysis. Unity analysis or unit of analysis. Okay, it means unit of analysis. Okay, and then we have this one, the subject or object of your research study makes up one major entity and either be one of the following. So these are uh, okay, these are one of the unit of analysis that you could formulate. First one, individual, group, or artifact. So for the individual, group, or artifact would be a painting, book, or travelogue. Okay? And then next one is geographical unit. Okay? In the geographical unit, it composes of municipality, province, and then country. And then if it is a social interaction, it could be a husband or it could be a husband or wife relationships or interaction. It could be also a teacher or learner or students interaction and employer or employee interaction. So those are the 7 factors. Okay, 7 research language formation factors. Okay, so for sure, uh, you remember what we have discussed. So let's have an activity, okay, to remember, okay, to recall what we have discussed. Okay, so answer the following. What are the key elements that should be remembered about the language of research? Okay, again, do you still remember it, class? Okay, it said that don't forget the key elements of the research language. Okay, and then what are those key elements? These are clear, concise, convincing, formal, and has a professional manner. Okay, and then how about this one? Let's have a practice exercises. Okay, what are those, again, what are those 7 language research formation factors? Okay, so again, let us enumerate those. Okay, first we have the multi. Okay, what is what the first one? Multi-syllable words. Okay, next is the types and formations of questions. Okay, third one is the span of time covered by the research. Number 4 is the variable relationship. Number 5 is formulation of hypothesis. Number 6 is the data, and number 7 is unit of analysis. Okay, I'm sorry for the typographical error for number 7. It is unit of analysis, not a unity of analysis. It is unit of analysis. Okay. So next is what are the two types and forms of questions? Okay, do you still remember those two questions? These are the qualitative types and forms of question, qualitative research, and quantitative research. Okay, which is in the qualitative research, it asks questions that elicit views, emotions, and opinions. While in the quantitative, it is exact number, percentage, and frequency of things. Okay, and then next is span. It's two span of time covered by the research. So we have the cross-sectional and then we have the longitudinal study. Okay, and then next one is the four variable relationships. What are those four variables? We have the independent variables, dependent variables, extraneous variables, and then the fourth one is confounding variables. Okay, and then for the formulation of hypotheses, we have two, which are the null hypothesis and then the alternative hypothesis. Okay, and then for the next one, for the data, okay, we have the qualitative data and then quantitative data. And then for the unit of analysis, what is for the unit of analysis? Unit of analysis yan, that is not unit analysis. Unit of analysis, we have mentioned the individual or group artifact, geographical unit, or social interactions. Okay, very good. So, for sure, you are now familiar with the research language, okay, that we may be used no, in having a research subject. Okay, so let's have now a quiz, and that quiz will be posted in the Google Classroom. Okay, for those who are online, so you can now access the quiz in the Google Classroom. Okay, so this is the actually the quiz no or the questions that asked in the Google Classroom that you need to answer. Okay, so that's all. So this one we have 15 item. Okay, 15 item test or quiz. Okay, so to test whether you understand what we have discussed this morning. Okay, so if you don't have any more questions or clarifications, okay, so that's all for today. Okay, thank you for listening and please again support my channel, my YouTube channel. Okay, please like and subscribe. Okay, because it will help you in studying your lessons. Okay, and then this is Ma'am Glad saying again that uh, Happy New Year and then okay, studying is easy, especially when you learning is easy, especially when you learn it with me. Okay, Happy New Year everyone. Keep safe. Okay, goodbye.